Now, the SuperScan utility is a little bit older, and it was originally made by Foundstone, and later Foundstone was bought by McAfee, so you can download this still from McAfee. Now, it's useful on older Windows boxes, and even to a degree, newer Windows operating systems like Windows 7 and Windows 8, you can still get some information out of those boxes. Now, SuperScan is one of those all-in-one programs where you can actually do a network scan, you can do host and service discovery, you have different scan options that you can use, different tools available to you like pinging, doing a whois lookup, and so forth. But what we're looking at primarily for this particular session is the enumeration tool. And all you have to do is put the IP address in there, and there's some options that you can use in there, like credentials, for example. And the credentials might bring back more information on the box than you might get without them. But assume as a hacker that you don't have credentials yet. So if you just click enumerate here, you're going to get some similar information that we got from running the nbtstat and net commands. But it's going to give you a little bit more information, and it's going to organize a little bit better. So we've got VTC-XP-1 is the computer name, VTC is the workgroup name, and we're getting a whole lot more information. And it tells you that enumeration was complete, and what we got was some remote registry settings on here, which could help us figure out a way to get into the box if we need to. We got a username Bobby here. We got a little bit of information out of this. We also got some running services, which ones are stopped, which ones are running. We also got a little bit of information on the drives that are there. No logon sessions right now. No trusted domains other than the primary domain, the workgroup that it's in. There's some things it couldn't get, password and account policies, shares, and so forth, users. But these are things that if you had some credentials, you might get a lot more information out of this box. But just getting some of the information that you did based upon no authentication, here's one important thing that we can use later on, and that's that we can actually complete a null session to the box. And a null session is a gateway into a system where we can get a little bit more information and even get some contact with the box. So we've got a little bit of information off this enumeration tool. Now, another enumeration tool is WinFingerprint, and let's go ahead and take a look at it. Okay, we're back, and we're going to look at WinFingerprint, and what we have here is a tool that can scan a network and get a lot of different information out of it. And you have some scan options here you can use, and you can get null IPC dollar share sessions. You can get NetBIOS information, date and time, trace route, users. There's a lot of information you can get out of this. Now, it depends again on whether you have credentials. You may not be able to get some of this information. Let's go ahead and do a quick scan and see what we get. It's going to scan and tell us what boxes it can reach and which ones it can. And right now there's only 2 boxes on the network that are Windows. So it's a scan tool. It's a service enumeration tool. It's a port scanning tool as well. Again, it's one of those all-in-one multifunction tools. So it's going to scan a little bit until it finds a Windows box, and it's going to find this XP box for sure. And it's found it under 163.141. And it's going to come back and probably give us a lot of the same information that we got from the SuperScan tool that we ran earlier. We got a password policy. That's something we didn't get out of SuperScan. We got disks, we got MAC addresses, we got patch levels. We got what service packs are out there and what different patches are loaded. And that's pretty cool. So we actually got a lot of information on this box here that we can use. And we are unauthenticated to the box. We have not authenticated at all to the box. We got services and so forth. We got users. And one cool thing is that this gives us some information that we couldn't get any other way. We have an administrator on SID 500, so we know that's the true administrator. The password is not set to expire for this administrator. We have a Bill Smith. We have a Bobby. We have several. We have a guest here. No password for guest, by the way. User's account is disabled. So we know that guest is disabled, but it doesn't have a password. We have Jim Williams. We have a Mike Anderson, and all their passwords have expired, which may mean they've never logged in. We've got some sessions here. Password policies again. This is the same box, I think, because it's the 142. Yeah, same box. Again, the XP box has 2 different NICs, so we're seeing the same box twice. And that's one thing you have to take into account when you do your scanning, is to figure out which boxes may be multi-homed boxes and maybe why they are. And that could give you some clues as to where you need to proceed in terms of going out on a different network that they're connected to. So we didn't get any more boxes, but we did get a lot of information from the one Windows XP box. So that's the Win Fingerprint tool, and it's very cool. There's some other tools out there that you could use, different enumeration tools, but this is just an example of what's out there. And again, you can run these remotely with or without credentials, or you can run them locally if you happen to get physical access to the box really quick. And we know that probably is not going to happen if you're an external hacker, but it could. You have to look for those opportunities. So that's some of the information you could get off of Windows during enumeration. And again, this information could be used to plan a more precise attack, to get weaknesses from the box, to figure out which ones may be vulnerable to attack that you could exploit.